WWE Superstar Kofi Kingston joining us this morning. Kofi, good morning. Thank you for being with us. I want to jump right in. Oh, yeah. Yes. Lighten the mood for all of us.
I'll raise it up.
Speaking of that, I'll raise it all the way up, Kofi, which you will be doing at the event. Tell me about the opportunity to be able to entertain people during these difficult times. Clearly, your personality is ready to just sort of jump out there.
Yeah, for sure. This is something that we take a lot of pride in, being able to entertain people throughout any kind of tough times that they might be having. That's been WWE pretty much 101 for, however long. But, it's just important to be able to provide a sense of levity, and to be a person that is on this WrestleMania. It's probably like one of, if not the most unique WrestleManias in the history of WrestleManias. But at the same time, with no crowd or whatever, but at the same time, it's something that like we are, it's just so unique, so to be on that card is, it's going to be great. And, we take a lot of pride in just bringing that energy, and it's still WrestleMania for us. So I think the show is going to be great. It's going to be 2 days, which has never happened before either. Gronk as the host, me being a Patriots fan. And as a matter of fact, so I just watched you guys' segment just before, and like when I was thinking about the questions that you guys might ask me for this interview, I was like, oh man, they probably might ask me about Brady. They might ask me about the Patriots. I'm like, man, what if we got Tua? Hand to God, and then I wake up, and the Boston Globe has this article about this possibility. So this is why you put these things out into the universe, you affirm. My mom always says affirmation is key. And now here we are, I don't want to get my hopes up, but man, if we got Tua, boy, come on, man. Come on. Let's go.
Well, I know we're going to get into Gronk and the Tom Brady or Tua later in our discussion, but I want to ask you about this weekend in this regard. A huge part of your story has been the embrace of the fans, the way the fans have embraced you, not only from their couches, but in the arena. The pop you get in the crowd is one of the things that really skyrocketed you to real superstardom. WrestleMania this year is in a very unique place, as we all are, as we're dealing with this pandemic. How much more incumbent is it going to be on the superstars to bring even extra energy because there's no crowd? And how much tougher is that as a superstar when you don't hear the crowd either chanting or booing, but you've got to deliver it because people are doing that on their couches? You just can't see them and hear them.
It's definitely a lot different. I'm not going to lie, Nick. When we were out there, it's just different. Like you said, we thrive off the crowd. It's such a huge part, probably the biggest part of what we do. But at the same time, like as performers, we have this internal sense of, I guess, where the crowd should be. And for myself, like I told you, like when I was on the show like a while ago, this is all I've ever wanted to do. So anytime I get into a ring and I start getting in there, again, with guys like the Usos or guys like Miz and Morrison, who are so good at what they do, you can't help but feel energized. And that energy just carries out throughout the arena. Regardless, we always say, like, we put on the best show if you have one person in the crowd or you have 1 million people in the crowd. The energy from us is always the same. You always want to go all out. Obviously, the crowd helps that, but our energy doesn't really change, So, and then in the back of our minds, we know that we are providing that sense of relief for people, a distraction, and a sense of entertainment that the WWE always brings. So you feed off of that, and I think that people are going to be pleasantly surprised with the way that WrestleMania is this year, even though it is different.
Kofi, you talked about the historical importance of WrestleMania. You, of course, won your belt last year at WrestleMania. How important was it for you to win at WrestleMania? You could have won it a lot of ways, but you won it at WrestleMania, just like a lot of the heroes that you saw growing up.
Yeah, for me, it was stereotypically a childhood dream that came true. You couldn't have written a better story. The way that it happened, it was just so organic. It wasn't supposed to happen. And it was the crowd that gave the fuel and the energy for it to progress week after week. Kofi Mania is what a lot of people referred to last year's WrestleMania as. And as a performer, that's what you strive for. You want to have a moment that reaches so many people, that affects so many people in so many different ways. So yeah, for me, that's what that was. And like, I'm getting goosebumps here, like talking about it in my house with nobody in the room. My kids might walk in at any given moment, by the way. They're probably about to wake up pretty soon. But it still blows my mind that even a year later, thinking about the effect that match and my victory there and winning the WWE Championship had on so many different people. I get messages on Twitter all the time. It's hard to believe that it was a year ago, because it really does feel like yesterday that I was in there with Woods and E and 85,000 people and my family in the crowd and my kids getting in the ring with me and my oldest son throwing out a T-shirt, to everybody. It just it's incredible. It is truly incredible. And even like I said, a full year later, here we are, and it still feels as amazing as it did the night that I won.
Kofi, this is really cool. On top of everything else you're doing, you're now starring in a Netflix film called The Main Event, about an 11-year-old boy who discovers a mask and goes on to become a WWE superstar. Tell us about the experience. What was the whole thing like? What was it like filming this?
It was awesome. I think a lot of people, the natural transition, like from being a WWE superstar to post WWE, everyone always talks about, oh, well, you're going to go into acting, right? You're going to go into Hollywood. And to me, they're very different things. They're very different entities in the way that you approach it. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go that route, but I think that like this was the perfect way to kind of get my feet wet. I'm playing myself in the movie. I had an amazing cast there. It's just, it was crazy. It was awesome. And, myself, I'm in it. Sheamus is in it. It's a story about a boy who finds like a magical lucha mask and he gets all these wrestling powers. You know what I mean? And he's able to go out and like live out his dream. And I just happen to be the character that he looks up to in the movie. So he's wearing my shirt. He's, his grandmother is in love with me, so it's an awesome, like, just a fun story that comes out on Netflix. And the timing actually couldn't be any better, because with everybody being indoors, a lot of people are watching Netflix, so I think this story is going to be able to bring people a lot of, just a lot of joy. It's like your feel good, like if you're a kid who wants to be a wrestler, this is kind of the story that you want to be involved with. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it was great. What's up, man?
Kofi, our colleague at Fox Sports, future NFL Hall of Famer Rob Gronkowski, you mentioned him earlier. He obviously has a huge part with WrestleMania. I am curious if he decided to go full bore. Oh, look at that guy. I didn't even see him there. What's up, man?
He jumped. I told you he was going to wake up.
He decided to go full bore. Yeah, absolutely. We were too loud. WWE Superstar. You think Gronk has it in him if he wanted to drop the mic and try to get in the ring with you guys?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I had the opportunity to cross paths with him as all the things were going on. And Gronk, definitely, his personality is such that, when he got in the ring a few years ago in the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, he just looked like he belonged. You know what I mean? So, yeah. He's got it on the mic. He's got the charisma. He's got the size. He's got the energy. And I think he's been wanting to do this for a real, real long time. So we'll see what happens after he hosts. But I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in the ring at some point soon.
Kofi, Bill Belichick is a champion. You're a champion. As champion to champion, if you call Belichick, what do you want to do at quarterback now?
Ooh. How can I tell Bill Belichick what to do? I'm the guy who is like, I've been so blessed as from my childhood all the way up until now to have experienced like such a winning tradition. And I'm so spoiled. I've been to 9 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I feel like I was on the field with my boys. You know what I'm saying? And I've won 6 of them. There are so many of my friends who haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl. They haven't sniffed the playoffs. I mean, Kansas City hadn't won the Super Bowl in 50 years. I don't know what that feels like. And that's all because of Bill Belichick and his plan, and the system. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'm always one to just trust in the system. And I think that Belichick knows what he's doing, and as sad as it was to see Tom Brady go, I feel like he's given me so much as a fan of the Patriots. that if he wants to go off and prove himself somewhere else and he wants to do other things, I feel like he's earned that right, you know? So we'll see, man. It's a very long-winded answer to say that, you know, to beat around the bush here and not give I gave you a non-answer, you know? I'm not going to give Bill Belichick any kind of advice.
Excited. I'm super excited for the adorable little boy on your lap. Just like you got 2 uninterrupted decades of success in Super Bowls with Brady, he's going to get to grow up in the Jared Stidham era, and I'm sure it'll be just the same. And you guys, it'll be you guys and you and him will be able to compare memories of the Brady era you grew up in and the Stidham era that adorable little boy is about to come of age into.
Hey, look, this is my son Kai, and he might be getting into the Jared Stidham era. But I think a lot of people might have said the same thing about Brady when Bledsoe went out so long ago. And I'm not saying that Stidham is Brady by any means, but let's give Stidham a chance before everybody starts throwing all these pot shots and making these jokes. You know what I mean? We'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, when it comes to the Patriots, I have faith. I have faith. You know, our defense is still tight. So hopefully Stidham can grow and become Tom Brady-esque. And maybe he'll come on the show and make you eat those words, Nick. You know? Make you eat those words.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.